In the 1970s, the South Bronx was literally on fire. The scale of the devastation during that decade is hard to fathom. 40 fires a day, according to one estimate. A continuous blaze that would end up destroying 80% of the housing stock in the area, reducing entire neighborhoods to rubble. But just why and how was the South Bronx allowed to burn to the ground? It's a question that still troubles longtime residents and the subject of a documentary on Independent Lens. Decade of Fire follows a Bronx-born activist as she uncovers the untold story behind the fires, revealing shocking neglect at every level of government. Here's a preview.
I grew up in the South Bronx in the 1970s, during the time of the fires. Landlords were burning our buildings for profit, and they didn't have to rebuild our homes. 250,000 people displaced, residents and grassroots organizations had no other choice but to fight back. These were our homes. This was our neighborhood. We weren't gonna take it lying down.
As part of our Chasing the Dream initiative, co-directors and producers of Decade of Fire, Vivian Vasquez-Ibzari and Gretchen Hildebrand join us now. Ladies, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
This was such a powerful documentary. Vivian, I want to start with you because this is very much your story. Tell me, how did this film come into existence?
We, Julia Allen and I, who is our co-producer, worked together in the Bronx during the early part of the 2000s. We were part of the 21st Century Small Schools movement, where we were working with a CBO, we were working within a CBO to start a small school. We wanted to write a curriculum for Bronx high school students so that they can learn about their history in the Bronx. But we just kept talking about what happened in the South Bronx during the 1970s. I kept talking about my experiences, how I grew up, and Julia encouraged me to write about it. And then eventually she encouraged me to work on a film. She introduced me to Gretchen, and then we began filming Friends and telling our story about how we grew up in the South Bronx and, you know, what the context was of the day. Because for many of us, we had a great time, just like all kids have a great time during their childhood, but there was this backdrop of devastation and neglect that was ever so present in our memories.
And Gretchen, I just want to say that was something that I think I found so engrossing about the film, is that you were able to get so much footage that made you feel like you were there. How were you able to put together all of these pieces that really, it brought the audience into the space that, I mean, for myself, I didn't grow up in the city, so I wasn't there, but you feel like it watching this film.
Right. Well, and just to mention, when we first started working on this film, it was 2008. So it was a 10-year process. That was, you know, what you're talking about, that was our end goal. Yeah. But it definitely was a huge amount of work, and we worked together collaboratively. So, you know, while I would be doing the filming or the editing, we also talked every week about the story, because there's a huge amount of amazing footage, and I can tell you more about where we found that. But I think part of what draws you in is that we spent so much time really focusing on how to let the viewer experience this story through Vivian's eyes. Because so often the Bronx is portrayed by outsiders as this other place that, you know, you wouldn't believe what's happening there. And we really wanted to bring people into that experience of, like, the actual, like, love that people had for the Bronx and for their neighborhoods there, which is what, you know, enticed them to actually stay and fight for it when all this stuff was going on.
So in addition to the heart and soul of your story specifically, this is also very much a history lesson. And you learn a lot about, as I was saying in the intro, the failures of government at every single level. Let's go back to just one of the big issues, and that was the redlining, the creation of the South Bronx, if you will. Why was it so important to make people understand how, like, first of all, why this neighborhood was intentionally created the way it was?
So redlining began actually in Brooklyn, right, in the beginning of the 1900s, and it starved off neighborhoods that banks or policymakers just wanted to kind of get rid of, right? So when it came to the Bronx, it basically came, the way that I interpreted it was, this neighborhood is a bad bet because we now have a growing number of African American and Puerto Rican people living in it, and there is no use in supporting this neighborhood. These folks don't know how to take care of themselves, so we might as well just leave them there. And so what that meant in, practical terms was that folks were not provided with any loans. There were no resources to help build or restore, maintain the buildings, which was really important. These were pre-war buildings. A lot of the electrical wiring was old. They couldn't support the new appliances that were coming into play at that time, like, hair dryers and heaters and things like that. There was no way to get, new services. So what redlining means is that you draw a red line around a community,
yeah.
and then you decide not to provide, the government decides, along with private entities, decide that they're not going to provide any economic support to that area. And that devastated the community because we needed economic support. Every community needs a level of economic, political, and social support. And what that did was that it just, all the buildings began to run down, and people couldn't get out, and people couldn't, sort of maintain. When someone buys a home nowadays, right, you get a loan, you want to fix it, you refinance, you do something, there was no economic incentive to support the South Bronx.
And of course, the film also addresses that there was no economic incentive, at least on the part of the landlords, to support. And so now, has it ever been proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that landlords were intentionally burning these buildings, or is that something that's been more come to understood? Like, people now feel as though that's what most likely happened.
Well, what's really important to know during this period is that the city was cutting back fire services across the city. So it was cutting back the fire department's ability to respond to fires, and they cut dramatically the number of fire marshals, who we talk about this in the film. Fire marshals are the people who show up to investigate the causes of a suspicious fire. And I think the numbers vary over time, but it was woefully understaffed. So the vast majority of fires, if they were recorded at all, because many fires never even were recorded, were not investigated. So it's very difficult to know the causes of many of these fires because they happened 40 years ago and nobody ever took down records about what happened. But there were a handful of prosecutions, and there was a federal investigation by FEMA, actually, into the practices of landlords and also the insurance companies as well. But, as we found this research by Vivian goes to different archives and digs it up. It is not out there. It's not in the public mind that this is something that was a pretty widespread practice by a certain time. But anecdotally, it was well known.
Well, actually, Vivian, that's one of the, again, so many reasons why this film is so important. And it addresses the issue also that a lot of people in the neighborhoods in the South Bronx internalized and blamed themselves for the fires. And there's also archival footage of city officials at the time saying point blank that it was the fault of the people in the South Bronx. And this film lays out a case for why it's not, and why the neighborhood and the people shouldn't be blaming themselves. Why was that so important?
Because if you look at current day, you walk around, and I work in youth development, right? And we see young people carry a legacy that doesn't belong to them, that they come from the South Bronx, so they come from some a poor neighborhood, and the narrative that is the conventional wisdom is that poor people are poor and their neighborhoods are run down because they don't know how to take care of their neighborhoods. That's what we often hear. That's what we often heard. We were blamed, the people from the South Bronx, they set the, you know, oh, it was arson, and the people in the South Bronx burned their buildings, right? That's what we often heard. And, you know, that is a very negative and internal emotion. Like that's a message that kind of like manifests itself in anger or fear or, you know, self-blame or even like self-esteem. You know, plenty of us, we knew that landlords were burning their buildings, but we were blamed. You know, I talk about this all the time with people from the South Bronx or with my friends. Anywhere I go, if I say I'm from the South Bronx, people are like, oh, you're from the South Bronx? You know, do you carry a knife? Is it safe? Or, you know, there's always that stigma. And we have internalized that because that's the message that we constantly receive from the outside world. And even within ourselves, right? Because we were like, oh, yeah, we were the ones who burned it. But that's not the case. And I think that for me, it was so revelatory to understand and reveal the factors that redlining starved and sapped our neighborhood. We didn't have a chance. Urban renewal, white flight, you know, the idea that firehouses were cut at a time when we were burning, and then we got blamed for that. But we didn't have the protection we needed, but yet we got blamed for burning our neighborhoods. That is very impactful. And I think that, you know, people walk around thinking, well, I don't live in a safe neighborhood. I'm from this place called the South Bronx. People don't want, you know, people don't want to have anything to do with me, or people see me a certain way. So we needed to tell and kind of what we call flip the script on that.
Oh, definitely the film does that, because not only do you address or lay out the reasons why there shouldn't be self-blame, but also the resiliency of the neighborhood after the fires, how people came together and decided, well, if we're not going to get help, we're going to rebuild our neighborhoods.
Right, because you know what? We weren't responsible for it. We actually saved the South Bronx.
All right, well, ladies, I want to thank you so much for this film. This is such a crucial retelling of a piece of New York history that I think perhaps hasn't been given the attention that it should. So thank you so much for this film.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Yeah.
For more information on Decade of Fire, visit us at metrofocus.org.